Hello friends and welcome back to a brand new opening video. Today we have a collector box of Edge of Eternities brought to you by the Cardhub Adelaide. Everything I open here is going into stock for the store, so if you see anything keep an eye on the website for when it gets uploaded. The set releases on the 25th technically, but pre-release is the 18th, so that is effectively a WPN store release. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open this beautiful box up. We have quite a few spicy cards in this set from what I've seen of the spoilers. We've got Shocklands back. We've got fancy new station mechanic. It's all looking very exciting. Ugh. Alrighty. Very shiny box as always. Okay, here we go. 12 packs of Edge of Eternities. Let's give it a little shuffle. Ha, 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 ha. Got some sleeves here ready to go for when we open up that fancy Gaia's Cradle or Tolarian Academy with extra steps. The stations that I don't fully understand. Oh, fancy robot token. Okay, so the regular way around. Excellent. Alright, so we'll go through and we'll just check out the commons and uncommons. I'll bring it a bit closer to the camera. There we go. Lots of artifacts and artifices. And here's our first spacecraft. So when it enters, mill 3 cards, then return a creature or spacecraft from your graveyard to your hand. That's pretty good. Station. So it's not a creature until it's fully stationed, I believe. So yeah, it becomes an artifact creature at 8+, and you can only do that as a sorcery. Very cool. Ooh, Mouth of the Storm. 7 mana 6/6 with flying and ward 2. Seems good. Bit of a... Oh, that is gorgeous. Yeah, alright. Fair enough, Edge of Eternities. Your lands are awesome. Like, that is very pretty. Alright, into the rares we go. We've got a loading zone. 4 mana enchantment. If one or more counters would be put on a creature, spacecraft, or planet you control, twice that many of each of those counters. Oh wow, I put on instead. Right, and it's warp for a green. So warp, you may cast this card from your hand for its warp cost, exile this enchantment at the beginning of the next end step, then you may cast it from exile on a later turn. So, quite handy. And from the commander product. Wow, nice. Surge Conductor, 3/2 artifact creature for 3 mana. Whenever another non-token artifact you control enters, proliferate. Ooh. Corral of the Void. 4 mana enchantment aura. Enchant creature you control. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, put target creature card from defending player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking. Oh, that is good. And Void, at the beginning of your end step, sacrifice this aura unless a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn. Very cool. Oh, and we just saw what the next one is, but we'll have a look at it in a moment. Oh, we got a full art Needle Spires. Very cool. Enters tapped, adds a red or a white, and it becomes a 2/1 for 4 mana. Nice. And we got... Whoa! Far out, that's cool. Anti-Causal Vestige. 6 mana 7/5 Eldrazi. When this creature leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Then you may put a permanent card with mana value less than or equal to the number of lands you control from your hand onto the battlefield tapped, and it has Warp 4. That is very cool. And then we have a lander and robot token. We are going to sleeve up that Eldrazi straight away because that is cool as heck. Alrighty. Pack number 2. Ah, they are quite difficult to open, but that's alright. Alrighty. Nutrient block. It's indestructible. That's funny. Sky Stinger, Bright Spear Zealot, Swarm Color, Memorial Team Leader. Okay. Virulent Silencer, Mechan Assembler, Tragic Trajectory. Oh, that's nice. Little tragic slip homage. Whoa. Man, these basics are just freaking gorgeous. Look at that mountain. The color on it's incredible. Also apologise if I sniff a bit. I've still got a little bit of a cold going. Hard Light Containment. 1 white for an enchantment aura. Enchant artifact you control. When this aura enters, exile target creature an opponent controls until this aura leaves the battlefield. Enchanted permanent has ward 1. Oh, that is kind of busted. Very cool. And Eumidian Hatchery. Tap, pay 1 life, add black, put a hatchling counter on this land. When this land is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, for each hatchling counter on it, create a 1/1 black insect creature token with flying. Okay, that's kind of cool. And we got Tanuk, Steadfast Second. 2 and 2 red for a legendary creature, Karvu Pilot. Other creatures you control have haste, very good. Artifact cards and red creature cards in your hand have warp 2 and a red. That's fun. Oh, and we got a Lumbering Falls. And is tapped. Taps for a green or a blue. And for 2, a green and a blue, it becomes a 3/3 blue and green elemental with hexproof. It's still a land. Sunstar Chaplain. 1 and a white for a human cleric. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. 2, remove a 1/1 counter from a creature you control, tap target artifact or creature. Nice. And an art card. We all know how I feel about art cards. Maybe I won't catch quite as much flack for my dislike of... Oh my god. For my dislike of art cards in this set as I did from the Final Fantasy set. This pack is made of adamantium and does not want to open. Oh my days. There we go. Whoa. There we go. Fort Knox of packs. Rig for War. Fungal Colossus. Red Tiger Mechan. Dark Endurance. Wow, that is gorgeous. Focus Fire. Mechan Assembler. Tragic Trajectory. Ooh, nearly lost it. Full Bore. Seam Rip. Gorgeous Plains. Look at the foiling on that. Like, that is fantastic. Hey, Sacred Foundry, our first Shockland. Very nice. Horizon Explorer. It's a 3 mana Insect Scout 2/4 lands you control, enter untapped. That's very good. Whenever you attack a player, create a lander token. That is very, very good. Whoa. Mutinous Massacre. 3, 2 black and 2 red for a sorcery. Choose odd or even. Destroy each creature with mana value of the chosen quality. Then gain control of all creatures until end of turn. Untap them. They gain haste until end of turn. Holy heck! That's... Yep, alright. We got a Swarm Yard. Hey, very nice. So it's a land that taps for a colorless and tap regenerate target insect, rat, spider, or squirrel. Whoa, Cosmogoyf. Wow. So a black and a green for an elemental Lurgoyf. This creature's power is equal to the number of cards you own in exile, and its toughness is equal to that number +1. Very cool. We got a Robot and a Sliver token. Wow, that pack was great. Alright, now for the next one. Hopefully less difficult to open. There we are. Okay. Virus Beetle. Intrepid Tenderfoot. Depressurize. Nanoform Sentinel. Nebula Dragon. Dawnstrike Vanguard. Terrapact Intimidator. Survey Mechan. Codecracker Hound. Another gorgeous Plains. And Terminal Velocity. 4 and 2 red for a sorcery. You may put an artifact or creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. That permanent gains haste. When this permanent leaves the battlefield, it deals damage equal to its mana value to each creature, and at the beginning of your end step, sacrifice this permanent. So it gains all those abilities. Wow. That's a lot. We got a Festering Thicket. Full art. Enters tapped. Cycling for 2. Very nice. Whoops. Oh, we got a Celestial Colonnade too. Memorial Vault. 3 and a red. tap it, sacrifice another artifact, exile the top X cards of your library, where X is 1 plus the mana value of the sacrificed artifact. You may play those cards this turn. Very cool. A foil Celestial Colonnade. That is very pretty. And Possibility Technician. It's a 3 mana 3/3 Carvu Artificer. When this creature or another Carvu you control enters, exile the top card of your library. For as long as that card remains exiled, you may play it if you control a Carvu. Oh, that's cool. And warp for 1 and a red. We got a lander. Well, that's actually a really fun token. 2 and tap, sacrifice it, search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Nice. Very cool. Okay, onwards and upwards we go. Oh my god. Jeez. I don't know what's going on with these packs, but they're glued together like crazy. Mechanozoa. Perigi Beckoner. Oh man, I don't know. Shattered Wings. Cav Landseeker. Flight Deck Coordinator. Mouth of the Storm. Remnant Elemental. Hemosymbic Might. Oh my god. Honored Knight Captain. Another gorgeous Plains. And Zoo-Ifit. Osteoharmonist. 1 and 2 black for a legendary creature, Human Wizard. It's a 2/3. Tap, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's a skeleton in addition to its other types and has no abilities. Activate only as a sorcery. Cool. Eumidian Wastewaker. 2 and 2 black for a creature, Insect Cleric, 4/4. Whenever this creature attacks you and defending player, each discard a card or sacrifice a permanent. You draw a card for each land card put into a graveyard this way. Encore for 6 and 2 black. Singularity Rupture. 3, a blue and 2 black. Destroy all creatures, then any number of target players each mill half their library rounded down. Oh wow. Okay. Whoa. Meteor Crater. That is gorgeous. It's a land. Tap, choose a color of permanent you control, add 1 mana of that color. Very cool. And another Singularity Rupture. And a cool lander and robot token. Alrighty. Let's keep on keeping on, shall we? Come on, open. There we go. My days. They upgraded the glue. Squire's Lightblade. Caveron Turbo Drone. Wormwall Sweeper. Melded Moxite. Drix Fatemaker. Full Bore. Seam Rip. Oh, that art is so cool. Steel Swarm Operator. Molecular Modifier. Another gorgeous forest. Oh man. Hey, it's Minim, the right hand. 3 and 2 blue for a legendary creature, Jellyfish Art Advisor. Flying, you may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast artifact spells from the top of your library. Artifacts you control have tap, add a blue, spend this mana only to cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand. It's like the Reality Chip and Urza Lord High Artificer had a baby. Patrolling Peacemaker. 2 and a white for a artifact creature, Robot Soldier. This creature enters with 2/1/1 counters on it. Whenever an opponent commits a crime, proliferate. Oh, that's cool. We got a Diadrine Synthesis Amalgam. X and a white, green and a white for a legendary artifact creature, Construct, 0/1. A trample. It enters with a number of 1/1 counters on it equal to the amount of mana spent to cast it. Whenever you attack, you may remove a 1/1 counter from each of 2 creatures you control. If you do, draw a card and create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. That is really good. Like, even if you pay X as 0, it still enters as a 2/3, so 2 mana 2/3. And whenever you attack, you may remove a 1/1 counter from each of 2 creatures you control. If you do, draw a card and create a robot. That is very, very good. We got a Stirring Wildwood. So it enters tapped, adds a green or a white, and for 1 a green or white becomes a 3/4 elemental with reach. That's still a land. A Sunset Saboteur. 1 and a black for a 4/1 human rogue with menace. Ward, discard a card. Whenever this creature attacks, put a 1/1 counter on target creature and opponent controls. Yeah, right. Seems fun. So only 1 shock land so far. Oh, God. Which is a little disappointing, but that's alright. Intrepid Tenderfoot. Depressurize. Thaumaton Torpedo. Cloud Sculpt Technician. Temporal Intervention. Cut Propulsion. Uthros Prionicist. What? Psionicist? Uthros Psionicist. Okay. Scout for Survivors. Fell Grav Ship. And a gorgeous island. Genomorph Imago. Green and a blue for an insect druid 1/3 with flying. Landfall. When a land you control enters, target creature has base power and toughness 3/3 until end of turn. If you control 6 or more lands, that creature has base power and toughness 6/6 until end of turn instead. A Vren Fen. Vernal Fen, even. Very, very pretty. The Swamp Forest taps, obviously, for a green or a black. This land enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Very cool. Whoa, we got a space-time anomaly. 2 a white and a blue. Target player mills cards equal to your life total. Very cool. We got a Mystifying Maze that is gorgeous. So it's a land that taps for a colorless and 4 and tap it. Exile target attacking creature and opponent controls. At the beginning of the next end step, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Very cool. And a full art Elegy Acolyte? Oh god, I don't know. 2 and 2 black for a human cleric 4/4 with lifelink. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose a life. Void. At the beginning of your end step, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. Very cool. And the Celestial Colonnade art card. Alright, we are past the halfway point now. 1 shock land. I would love to see a full art one. But, you know, I'm not greedy. Dockworker Drone. Oreplate Pangolin. Thorbringer. Sammy's Curiosity. Divert Disaster. Alfariel. Dreaming Acolyte. Very cool. Mechan Navigator. Siege Ship. Agrian. Faller's Faith. Another beautiful mountain. Corral of the Void. It's the 4 mana enchantment we saw earlier. Whoa, we got the Exploration Brood Ship. This is from the Commander product. It's a 1 mana station. So for 3+, you may play an additional land on each of your turns. And for 8+, it becomes a 4/4 flyer. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a permanent spell from your graveyard by sacrificing a land in addition to its playing its other cost. Very cool. Whoa, Zoophyte Osteoharmonist. This is one of the creatures we got before. It's a 3 mana 2/3 legendary creature human wizard. Tap it, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's a skeleton in addition to its other types and has no abilities. We got a Creeping Tar Pit. So it taps for a blue or a black, enters tapped, and it becomes a 3 true blue and black elemental. And it can't be blocked. Very cool. 0 Point Ballad. X and a black for a sorcery. Destroy all creatures with toughness X or less. You lose X life. If X is 6 or more, return a creature card put into a graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. Cool. And the classic beast token from the Commander product. And a clue. Alright, there we go. They're getting easier. Slowly but surely, they're getting easier. Star Breach Whale. Biosynthic Burst. Comet Crawler. Sinister Cryologist. Grav Kill. That actually sounds fantastic. Exile target creature or spacecraft for 4 mana. Very cool. Rescue Skiff. Tractor Beam. Void Forged Titan. Laval Scoutlander. Yeah. Gorgeous Swamp. Oh, my days. Ice Till Explorer. It's a 4-mana creature. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. You may play lands from your graveyard and landfall when a land you control enters mill card. Oh my days. Planetary Annihilation. 3 and 2 red. Each player chooses 6 lands they control, then sacrifices the rest. Planetary Annihilation deals 6 damage to each creature. My days. Starfield Vocalist. 3 and a blue for a human bard 3/4. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Warp for 1 and a blue. Hey, whoa! We got a Strip Mine. Oh, man, that's cool. Tapped out a colorless, tap, sacrifice this land, destroy target land. That is phenomenal. That's going in the sleeve straight away. And we got an Ortho... Oh, man, I'm going to struggle with this one. Whatever that word is. 2 and 2 green for a plant worm 1/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put X/1/1 counters on each creature you control where X is this creature's power. Oh my days. That's crazy. That was a great pack. Strip Mine and that crazy green mythic that is just bananas. Oh, something's making gnomes in the Commander product. Alrighty. 3 packs to go, including this one. Oops, just knocked the camera. Sorry, folks. Let's try that again. 3 packs to go, including this one. Hull Carver. Banishing Light is back. Chrome Companion. Oh, look at him. Oh, what a little cutie. Beamsaw Prospector. Plasma Bolt. Dual Sun Adepts. All Fates Scroll. Melt Strider's Resolve. Melt Strider Eulogist. Another gorgeous Swamp. Adagai Windswept Bastion. It is a land planet. Oh, this is a land one. What does this do? Taps to add a white and station 3 and a white and tap it. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact or enchantment you control, except it's legendary. Activate only as a sorcery. Very cool. Insight Engine. It's a 3-mana artifact. 2 and tap it. Put a charge counter on this artifact, then draw a card for each charge counter on it. Very nice. Whoa. So we got a couple of the fancy planet lands in this one. This is the black one. Susur Secundi Void Altar. It enters taps to add a black, and once it hits 12 plus on station, you 1 and a black and tap it, pay 2 life, sacrifice a creature, draw cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power, activate only as a sorcery. Very cool. And we got a Nesting Grounds. So, tap to add a colorless, 1 and tap it, move a counter from target permanent you control to another target permanent, activate only as a sorcery. And then lastly, we got Pain of All, 2 and a red for an enchantment aura enchant creature you control. When this aura enters, enchanted creature deals damage equal to its power to any target. Ooh, apologies, folks. Had a phone call come through. Whenever an enchanted creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to each opponent. Very cool. And we got an elemental and a gnome. Alright, we got 2 left. We already got 2 of the mythic lands in one pack. Was not the ones we were after, to be fair. Mental Modulation. Rig for War. Germinating Worm. Ilvoy Light Jammer. Auxiliary Boosters. Tapestry Warden. Scrounge for Eternity. Sir Vondam the Lucent. 2 a white and 2 black for a 4/4 Human Knight Death Touch Lifelink. Whenever Sir Vondam enters or attacks, other creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain Death Touch until end of turn. That's very cool. Interceptor Mechan. Gorgeous Forest. The Eternity Elevator. 5-mana legendary artifact Spacecraft. Tap and add 3 colorless. Once you get 20 plus, tap, add X mana of any one color where X is the number of charge counters on the Eternity Elevator. That card is bananas. We got a Solar Array. 3 mana artifact. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. When you next cast an artifact spell this turn, that spell gains Sunburst. I don't really know what Sunburst does, but cool. Whoa! The Dominion Bracelet. 2 mana artifact legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has, for 15, exile the Dominion Bracelet. You control target opponent during the next turn. This ability costs X less to activate, where X is the creature's power. Activate only as a sorcery. Equip for 1. That, okay. Fair enough. Whoops. And we got a Power Depot. Artifact land. It enters tapped. Tap to add a colorless. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. Very nice. And we got a Robe of Stars from the special guest. Very pretty. So 1 and a white for an equipment, and it gives equip creature +0/+3, equips for 1, has astral projection, equip creature phases out. Very cool. Oh, that was our last card. That's very nice. Alright, here's our last pack. There are some really fun things in this box. Let's see if this last pack can live up to the rest of it. Weft Blade Enhancer. Orbital Plunge, Radiant Strike, Glacial Wayfarer, Ilvoy Operative, Hemosymbic Might, Honored Knight Captain, Memorial Team Leader, Virulent Silencer, a gorgeous island, Singularity Rupture, destroy all creatures, then any number of target players each mill half their library, rounded down. Whoa! Alright, we got In Spirit Flagship Vessel. It is a blue, a red, and a white for a legendary artifact spacecraft. It has the station ability, so 1+ at the beginning of combat on your turn, put your choice of a 1/1 counter or 2 charge counters on up to 1 target artifact. Then 8+ flying, other artifacts you control have hexproof and indestructible. Oh my days. Whoa! Alright, Cosmogrand Zenith. 2 and a white for a 2/4 human soldier. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, choose 1. Create a 1/1 human soldier creature token. I'll create 2 1/1. Jeez. Put a 1 counter on each creature you control. Holy heck. Wow. Grove of the Burn Willows. So, we got a land that taps for a colorless or taps for a red or a green. Each opponent gains a life. That's cool. Whoa. And a Quantum Riddler. 3 mana, 3 and 2 blue for a 4/6 Sphinx. With flying, when this creature enters, draw a card. As long as you have 1 or fewer cards in hand, if you would draw 1 or more cards, you draw that many cards +1 instead. Warp for 1 and a blue. Very cool. And an art card. Okay. There were some very fun things in that box. We will go ahead and sleeve these up and get back to you. Okie dokie, folks. What a box. I mean, there's some very cool stuff in here. These lands are amazing. Strip Mine and The anti-causal vestige, I'm assuming, are going to be the big hitters. But we also got 2 of the mythic lands, the white and the black one. Rope of Stars being very cool. And one thing I didn't notice while I was actually doing the opening, but now that I've organized it, these basics have 2 different varieties of foil. So this must be like the Cosmos foil type, and then just the regular foil. So that's very cool. I don't know if they're worth particularly more money or anything like that, but they do look rather incredible. Borderline might have to change over the basic lands in my Chatterfang deck to these because they're just real pretty. But thanks again to the Cardhub Adelaide for sponsoring this video and providing this product to open. All of this will be available on the website by release. There will be more videos to come. I've got some other bits and pieces to open, so stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you, folks.